So we just spoke about having patience for maybe a little bit longer term because at least in the short term, markets are a little choppy. And anything you buy today, you may have to wait a little bit to see the rewards of buying in on the cheap. But let's now talk about markets over the next couple of months, right? We are closing the year off pretty soon. As I said off top of the show, I can't believe it's already November 1st. Can we see these markets rally into year end? Many people believe that the markets may not even make back what they lost over the last 3 months. We've seen a very difficult last 3 months. I think we have a chart here of the S&P 500 again over I think it's a 6-month chart. There it is. And you can see how much of a sell-off we've seen since the month of August started, since August 1st. July 31st seems to be, at least for now, the top of the market for this year. And the stock market has sold off about 10% since then. So can we see a market rally into year end? What will be the catalyst? Will it be technology leading the way, or will it be some other sector of the market? Will good news be bad news for the markets, as we've talked about? Meaning if the markets or the economy is too strong, the Fed may raise rates, Bank of Canada may raise rates, and we may see a sell-off of the stock market. Or will good news finally be good news, where we actually see growth and the stock market rewards investors for that growth? So these are all questions that everybody's asking, individual investors are asking. And one of the reasons why I think we can see and will see a strong ending to the year is the chart I have here, which shows the S&P 500 average monthly returns for the full year. And we've talked about this before. You can clearly see that coming out of October into November, December, and even into January, February is roughly flat, slightly higher, but roughly flat. You could see some of the best returns of the year. And as I've said on the show, the two worst months for returns are August and September. We've just gone through that. Usually we see a turnaround in October. Didn't really see it. I think two reasons for that. Obviously, the war that started, or unfortunately, what happened in Israel with respect to Hamas and terrorist group, I think that played a bit of a part. We also saw higher yields, which probably played even more of a part in keeping the market down for October. But I'm a firm believer that as we move into November, today being November 1st, we're going to see that turnaround to higher markets. And today and yesterday, markets were higher. Hopefully, that's the start of a bit of a turnaround. So that's the first reason. And I think the second reason why I think markets can move higher is this notion or this idea that the Fed and Bank of Canada are done raising rates. I think if the market can actually understand or get some certainty some way, somehow, I don't know if the Bank of Canada or the Federal Reserve is actually going to come out and say we're done raising rates. But if we can glean this from what they say indirectly, read between the lines, that interest rates are not going anywhere for the foreseeable future, I think that's going to be the catalyst to take this market higher. I think we're going to see the consumer hang in there. We know the consumer makes up about 70% of growth in the United States and a very large percentage as well here in Canada. Spending hasn't really slowed down. We saw GDP growth for the United States just under 5% last quarter. So I think we're in good shape. All we need are rates to stop rising. They don't have to be cut, but stop rising. And I think we could see a stronger November and December and head into 2024 on a positive note.